My name is Sean Milan DeBose, and my son was Sean Milan DeBose II. He was a really, really cheerful little baby.
My name is Lilia DeBose. The name of my son is Sean Milan DeBose II, and he was 6 months old. I received a call from my sister, and they just said, I don't want you to worry. They took my son to the hospital. I just said, let's go. And I grabbed her keys. We got in the car, and when we were in the car, she's like, RC, my baby. And then she wanted me. I was going in and out of the carpool lane. It seemed like forever to get to the hospital.
I drove up, and all of my wife's family members were standing outside the hospital. And when I drove up, I didn't think, it was that serious. When I drove up, I'm looking, and all these people, they're just standing there, and they're just kind of looking at me weird, kind of like I was in a Twilight Zone. I'm thinking, dang, what's happening? What's going on? So when I drove up, my wife's sister took my car. She didn't even let me park. She took the car, she got in the car, and she drove and said, Sean, you just need to go in the hospital.
We're just standing there waiting, and all of a sudden I see them bringing in baby Sean, and he was without a shirt, he was just on his diapers with all kinds of different cables coming out. It was just it looked very bad.
I was very afraid and scared. I thought, God, please help him.
I went and I saw my son just laying on the table. And he was laying on the table, and he had all these tubes and stuff coming out of his mouth. He had all these tubes and stuff coming out of his mouth. And then I looked in his eyes, and I just tried to get a connection with him, but I just didn't feel anything was there. When I first arrived at the hospital, the first thing is I waited for about 20 minutes, and then the nurse came out, and she sat with me and my husband. And she gave me the worst news I could have ever gotten, which they said, I'm so sorry that I have to give you this news, but your son's not going to make it.
SIDS is sudden infant death syndrome. It happens among children from the ages of anywhere from 0 months of when they're first born to 1 year old.
The doctors never told me that that's what it was yet, because they still were trying to figure out what exactly happened. And once everything was over, that's what they came up with, the only resolution that they came up with.
There's really not much you can do to prevent SIDS. Basically, what we do recommend at the hospital is that you lay your babies on their back.
My husband's best friend came to me, and he explained to me, he goes, Lily, I don't want you to make any decisions, and I want you to understand something, that all his organs, they're going to take him out and put him in a bag and put him on the side. I never knew that.
I think I'm the one who even brought up donating. I think I was the very first person that mentioned it, and the first conversation was, no, that ain't going to happen. And, my wife won't let that happen. And by the next day, we kept talking about it, and it went into, okay, maybe we should, because I was looking at it at the point that once we knew more than likely he was not coming back to us, I don't want to see anybody else go through what we were going through. And I don't think and that's when we all realized, kind of together, we realized that if we can stop this pain for someone else, it'd be the right thing to do.
What is the most unselfish thing a person could do in their life? And that is to give life to another. That was the reason why we came to the conclusion that if we can save another person's life through the life of our son and let him live on, then that's what we want to do. So we donated his organs.
And we were all looking for a miracle. And I turned around and told my brother when we were in a meeting that I think that was a miracle, that my son was going to be able to save other lives.
At first, my only thing was, of course, my sister thinking about, what was she feeling? Because she, at that point, knew that baby Sean was gone. And now she has to make probably the second most difficult decision of her life. But I remember sitting in that room and something happened. And I'll never forget, Lily said, looked around the room and she said, "You guys, the miracle just happened." She said, because maybe it didn't happen for my baby, but this miracle has happened for another family, because now the organs of my baby are going to give life to somebody else, and that family was waiting for a miracle.
Baby Sean was, I think that when he first came here, he already knew he was going to heal. I don't think that I will ever heal, but I think my friends and my family has helped me tremendously to be able to heal, to be able to go on with life, because losing a son, I can't even explain it. He was my life too.
Now, what you just saw is just a piece of a miniseries that I'm working on to show people the importance of donating your loved one's organs. I also plan to start a foundation in baby Sean Milan DeBosa's name. And that foundation will help families like ourselves that we went through. We were in hospital the whole week. You know, our car was towed, our home was broken into. And luckily we had our friends and family there to help us financially and support us. So that's what the foundation will cover. And the main reason why I'm moving forward with this project is because of this little girl right here. Meet Kayla. Baby Sean left us on December the 20th, and baby Kayla was just hours away of doing the same to her family. But through the blessing of God and the wonders of being able to donate organs, baby Kayla received baby Sean's heart, and she's grown to be a beautiful little girl. And she's a part of our life, and we love her to death. Help make a difference. Thank you.